Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Matt Jones is returning to Kentucky Sports Radio now that he won't make a run for U.S. Senate.
And more help for families dealing with drug addiction is coming to southeastern Kentucky.
Plus, friends and family are remembering two people killed in an explosion in Wolfe County this past weekend.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 5:31 on November 26th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning on this Tuesday.
On this Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving. Preparing. Do you have to, or you're not fixing anything? You're going to be out?
Nope. The kind people at Cracker Barrel are going to be making my Thanksgiving meal.
Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, are you fixing up anything?
I'm going to sit and eat it. My wife's going to fix some
making
food.
it.
I think my mother-in-law is making it because Steph and I both have to work on Thanksgiving. So shout out to Gail there this morning. She's going to take care of us, turkey and all the fixings there. But no matter who's cooking, it's going to be some good eating regardless. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. Maybe not so good in some areas. Whitesburg, not fogged over just yet, but we are here in Hazard for sure. Visibility down in parts of the Cumberland Valley, Jacksboro at less than a mile there, and Harlan at 0 visibility this morning. So be careful. Give yourself plenty of extra time. Temperatures all over the place today. 28 Jonesville, 41 in Somerset, 43 Moorhead, 31 in Hazard, 42 Pikeville, and 31 up toward Ashland. Just kind of bouncing around there, giving you some of those cooler temperatures. The wind's starting to pick up just a little bit. They're really going to pick up as we head deeper into the day, into the night, and into tomorrow with a storm system that's approaching. But again, not too bad just yet. Almanac for today, 63 is what we're forecasting. The average, 53, so we're 10 degrees above average today if we make it. 74, the record set back on this day in 1990. We'll talk about a couple of warm days, a couple of cool days, and then maybe some wintry precipitation by the time we get to the end of the weekend. I know Will like to hear that.
Music to my ears. Thank you, Brandon. Well, Middlesboro native Matt Jones is returning to Kentucky Sports Radio now that he is not making a run for U.S. Senate. Jones was taken off the air on the 6th of November following a complaint filed by the Republican Party of Kentucky. He tweeted last night that he has signed a new 5-year deal to continue KSR and will return to the show the day after Christmas. Well, more help for families dealing with drug addiction is coming to southeastern Kentucky.
Yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and the nation's drug czar went to Manchester for the opening of a new center that is only one of 4 like it in Kentucky.
WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on how people say the center will help with the opioid epidemic.
1, 2, 3.
Elected officials on both sides of the political aisle say this is one thing they can all agree on.
I think we both believe that we have to work across party lines on addressing this drug epidemic. Is too big of a challenge to get caught up in our differences.
Beshear says Republican Senate President Robert Stivers wanted him here for the opening of the Volunteers of America Recovery Community Center.
Because we shall go forward strong, and our best days are yet to come.
Stivers welcomed the Senate Majority Leader and the White House drug czar from Washington, all the way to Manchester, where drugs have hurt many, and where a unique center will help transition people from addiction back into the community.
So what I've done is to dig in, and I think the results are pretty good. $240 million in federal funding for Kentucky's fight against opioid and substance abuse.
And under Leader McConnell's direction, we have funded 24 prevention programs going after kids 18 and under.
It'll be called the Freedom House, and it involves everything from a new mountain market to provide jobs and transitional housing for those wanting a life away from drug abuse.
We can change the world. Together, we've cast stones that are just starting as ripples that I believe will become a wave of change for Clay County and southeastern Kentucky.
Construction is also underway on a new center to help expecting mothers deliver healthy babies. In Clay County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Volunteers of America also has several programs that help veterans and currently has more than 40 programs in the Commonwealth.
And before heading to Clay County, Governor-elect Andy Beshear stopped by the WYMT studios to record issues and answers. We covered a host of topics from the upcoming inauguration, his family plans to live in the governor's mansion, to bringing jobs to Eastern Kentucky. He also focused on education and his plans for the State Board of Education.
We need a Board of Education that truly supports our children, supports our education community, and puts our kids before for-profit charter school companies. Yes, the governor has the power to do that. I know because I lost that case in the Supreme Court. It's important to have a commissioner of education, too, that is in line with a governor, especially one that ran talking about public education in a positive way that moves our families forward. I hope our current commissioner of education can understand that.
You can watch the entire interview on Issues and Answers on WYMT.com.
A man serving a 20-year sentence in a deadly crash will be released following a pardon from Governor Bevin. Justin Wibbles was convicted in 2015 in a crash that killed 61-year-old Jerry Thompson. He collided head-on with Thompson's van in an emergency lane on Kentucky 30 back in 2014. In his pardon, Governor Bevin called the crash a, quote, tragic accident. But the Laurel County Commonwealth's attorney says he doesn't see it that way.
The term tragic accident is absolutely not right. An accident or a tragic accident is somebody that an attentive driver who runs a stop sign, a driver on a slippery road and loses control. That's an accident.
We reached out to Thompson's family. They did not wish to comment. At last check, Governor Bevin has issued 70 pardons. 30 of those happened this month.
And a Laurel County man who admitted to causing a deadly crash that killed his mother will spend 15 years in prison. Chris Francis pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including second-degree manslaughter in October. Francis was driving on the wrong side of the road when he hit another car head-on. Police say blood work showed he was high on meth at the time of the crash. Francis's mother, Holly Francis, was a passenger in his car and died.
In Laurel County, we now know a trial date in the case of a father charged with killing his son. Jury selection for Vaughn Brock is expected to begin March 10th. He is accused of killing his toddler son. They found the little boy inside a washing machine following a fire. Brock told investigators he fell asleep while smoking a joint and woke up to the trailer filled with smoke.
And in Pulaski County, a mother is charged with endangering the welfare of a minor. Somerset police say Erica Marr was yelling at her boyfriend Tyler Fleming at a home on Ringgold Road. Officers could smell alcohol on Marr, and during the investigation, police say they found open beer cans inside the home along with glasses of wine. 3 children were in the home. Marr and Fleming are both charged with alcohol intoxication.
An Eastern Kentucky teacher charged with sexual abuse is now facing new charges. State police arrested James Cornett this past weekend. He is already accused of having sexual contact with 2 students at Owsley County High School. Troopers say Cornett is now facing 2 more charges of sex abuse.
And a former office manager and bookkeeper for an Eastern Kentucky coal company faces federal charges. A grand jury indicted Sherry Thomas last week. She's accused of using her position at Carbon River Coal Company to write checks to herself out of the company's tax payments. She faces wire fraud and identity theft charges, and Thomas is scheduled to appear in court on December 9th.
A man is behind bars in Knox County because sheriff's deputies say he stole a donation jar. The donations were meant for the Knox Whitley Animal Shelter. Investigators spent a week looking for Troy Grubb and eventually arrested him Friday. Grubb faces a theft by unlawful taking charge.
And a community is outraged after the Leslie County Firefighters Memorial Park was vandalized last week.
The park is home to a memorial statue which honors Leslie County volunteer firefighters who have died and the more than 300 firefighters who died on 9/11.
WYMT's Lauren McCourt talked with several volunteer firefighters who say they are heartbroken to see the damage.
Damaging more than just a local park.
I'm heartbroken.
I'm more heartbroken than mad.
It made me heartbroken.
As graffiti covers signs, concrete, and playground equipment.
This is uncalled for.
Leslie County natives are devastated to see the place where they come to remember the fallen vandalized.
It's a special place for everybody, well, especially the firefighters, because, you know, it's dedicated to their families around here and the ones that lost their lives.
Built more than 10 years ago, the Leslie County Firefighter Memorial Park holds a special place in many hearts.
This is my papa's name here. He, Rufus. Almost all these people had a big hand in this place being built.
But after seeing the damage, the feeling is different for those who pay their respect.
It's a hard thing to see when somebody comes up here and spray paints all over a sign. It's not just a sign to me or anybody else in the county.
Though paint may be easy to wash off.
We don't ask for nothing to get out and do what we do 365 days a year. Just a little bit of respect is all we ask for.
The feeling of disrespect for those who sacrifice so much for us will linger on. In Leslie County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
If you have any information on this vandalism, you would contact the Leslie County Sheriff's Department. Their phone number is 606-672-2200.
Friends and family are remembering 2 people killed in an explosion in Wolfe County. 52-year-old Philip Vanderpool and 48-year-old Sue Ann Vanderpool died. The explosion happened Saturday afternoon at a home off of Highway 15 near Campton. Leonard Stone, a family friend, rushed to the scene as soon as he heard the news. He is a longtime friend of one of the victims.
With Thanksgiving and the holidays coming, I'd say it's going to be very, very difficult. That's where they'll need their friends. That's where they'll need their friends.
Friends say the family has housing but needs furniture. A total of 6 people were inside. 4 others were hurt. 1 person is in serious condition.
And all Lawrence County schools are closed until after Thanksgiving break due to fire. It began Friday in a culvert near the back of Louisa East Elementary School. Officials say smoke funneled out of the drains and pipes in front of the school. Superintendent Robbie Fletcher says the smoke made the situation appear worse than it was.
So you have all the heat kind of rising because it's down close to the river, so you're kind of coming up. So you have the heat and the smoke rising to come up to higher ground. And so it's all coming out on this side.
Yesterday, the city of Prestonsburg brought their remote control camera to run through the pipes to check for damage. There is no fire damage to the building. Classes were canceled because the gas needed to be cut from the building, and school will be back in session December 2nd.
Coming up, a Texas charity is hoping to rein in donations in an unusual way after kicking off its yearly holiday giving campaign.
We're getting closer to one of the busiest travel periods of the year. What are we expecting weather-wise for Thanksgiving? I'll have the answer in about 3 minutes.